going to be packed with a lot of key learnings that is valid even for present life. A very interesting story that's called Samudra Manthan. It's called Samudra Manthan or Churning of the Milky Ocean. We will discuss this also from the leadership perspective, the current challenges that we are going through as well. White elephant called Airavata and taking a nice stroll on the elephant, of course. He is going around when he meets sage Durvāsā. Sage Durvāsā gives him something. Durvāsā is now totally angry. When sages get totally angry, sometimes the third eye opens up or something like that, and they get angry to the extent that their curse has then gone wrong in a very bad. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to the Glaze Studios oil painting vlog number 30 of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. This is a painting that follows the principle of microgram or calligraphy to paint the 1000 names of Sri Vishnu. While the painting is going on, I am also trying to understand the names and its meanings, taking tangential perspectives from various scriptures within Sanatana Dharma. And that's the same that I'm sharing with you on a weekly basis through this vlogs. We have already covered names up to 280 in our previous vlogs. If you haven't checked it out, please do so, because there's a lot of mention. You will see that I'm trying to go back and forth with some of the references that were mentioned in the previous videos. Please do check them out and come back so that you can continue enjoying the whole, with also noting down the learnings, because today's episode is going to be packed with a lot of key learnings that is valid even for present life. Today's session is going to cover names 281 through 290, and then we are going to look at a very interesting story that's called Samudra Manthan. It's called Samudra Manthan or Churning of the Milky Ocean, churning of the cosmos, you can say. What is going to be interesting, very different in this video today, is that we will discuss this also from the leadership perspective, the current challenges that we are going through as well. So there's a lot coming up in today's session. Without much ado, let's get on to the 10 names and try to understand the meanings first, and then we will move on to the Milky Ocean. Yes, so we move on to the 281st name, which is Om Chandramshave Namaha, refers to. He is called Chandramshu. Chandra is moon. Yeah, Chandramshu is referring to moonlight, because just as the moonlight gives relief to people who's burnt in the heat of the sun, can you just feel that evening when there's a tender breeze, the sun's heat is now getting out of the way and there is this coolness spreading in, you're settling in, there is this relief, and that is the effect that he brings. That's why he is called Chandramshave Namaha. 282nd name is Om Bhaskaradyutaye Namaha, refers to the one who has the effulgence of the sun. We talked about the moon, we now discuss the sun as well. 283rd name is Om Amrutam Shuddhavaya Namaha. This points to the Paramatman from whom the Amrutamshu, Amruta or the moon, originated at the time of churning of milk ocean. So this is pointing again to the same moon, but it is pointing to the moon. When did it originate really in the galaxy? When the churning of milk ocean happened. That we are going to talk about in a short while from now. 284th name is Om Bhanave Namaha. This is referring to one who shines. 285th name is Om Shashibindave Namaha. Shashi Bindave Namaha. Shashi again points to the moon, but here the word means one who has the mark of a hair that is in the moon. So sometimes, when you look at the full moon, there is this, the darker aspects. We tend to give some names to it. We say that it's a woman sitting, or it looks like a, animal, a hare possibly, and so on. So here, this word refers to one who has the mark of the hare that is in the moon. 286th name is Om Sureshwaraya Namaha. This means one who is the Lord of all the Devas, those who are doing good. 287th name is Om Aushadhaya Namaha. This is Aushada. Aushada means medicine. So he is the one who is the Aushada or medicine for the greatest disease. What is the greatest disease? It's the samsara. The life itself is, talked about as the greatest disease, and he is the medicine to that. And this is also something that's going to come out of the milk ocean in just a moment from now. The 288th name is Om Jagatassetave Namaha. Jagatassetave Namaha. This means one who is the aid to go across the ocean of samsara. So we talked about he is the one that is giving you the medicine that will help you put through the whole life and live through the whole life, and he will help you cross this huge ocean called life as well. And this is also something we will talk about a lot in the coming points for discussion today. 289th name is Om Satya Dharma Parakramaya Namaha. Wow. One whose excellences such as righteousness, omniscience, piousness, this is all are true. So this is the excellences of the God that is discussed in this name, Om Satya Dharma. Satya is being true, Dharma, following the Dharma, the path of righteousness, omniscience, and so on. Parakramaya Namaha. The 90th name is Bhuta Bhavya Bhavannataya Namaha. This means one who is the master for all the beings, that is Bhuta, past, Bhavya Bhavannataya Namaha. So all the beings of the past, present and future. With that we come to the end of the names, but we get into the churning of the milk ocean. Let's get on with that. Samudra Manthan, the popularly known discussion, popularly known storyline, we can say, from Sanatana Dharma is Samudra Manthan, the churning of milk ocean. So we are going to go into the story and also understand the leadership point of it from today's context the moment we are done with the story. So hang on to the entire video until we get to the last of it. So where does the story start? It starts with Lord Indra. We have discussed about Lord Indra as this Lord of all the Devatas, all the angels, you can say, for example. So he is in a nice, good mood, and he is seated on his white elephant called Airavata and taking a nice stroll on the elephant, of course. He is going around when he meets sage Durvāsā. Sage Durvāsā gives him something, a garland, a beautiful flower garland. He looks at it, he is already in an elated mood. He is the king of all the netherworlds, all the heavens, you can say. So he is in a highly elated mood, and for him this is a very simple thing. He takes the gift, but he doesn't feel so much elated by it, so he hands it over to his white elephant, and the elephant also takes it, maybe smells it, and maybe he also doesn't have the feeling of putting it on himself. The elephant also throws it away. Sage Durvāsā gets totally angry. What he gave Lord Indra, yes, of course, it looked like a very simple flower garland, and it's now thrown away. But it was not so simple. It was actually the garland that was filled with Shree. Shree, what is Shree? Shree is the simple representation of Lakshmi Devi, or all the wealth, all types of wealth we have talked about in our previous vlogs, isn't it? So it was actually abundance of all the wealth that was given in a small packet. We discussed small packets that come, that have a lot of energy. So this one was one simple gift, but not so simple. It was so much that he was offered and he threw it away. Durvāsā is now totally angry. When sages get totally angry, sometimes, the third eye opens up or something like that, and they get angry to the extent that their curse actually manifests. So what was Durvāsā's curse? Durvāsā's curse was that Indra and his whole kingdom of all this heavens will lose all wealth everywhere. Everything gone. So now the reality strikes. But a curse is a curse. It cannot be taken back. He apologizes though, but nothing really happens. Error done by a king. A very simple thing, but then gone wrong in a very bad way. He loses simply everything. Not just him, because he is the king. When he does a mistake, it impacts everybody under him. So all the devatas in trouble, and even the asuras, the so-called demons, are also in trouble because of that. There is nowhere to go and take anything from. Everything is empty, nothingness. They're all spun into nothingness, and now they need help. Their king has messed up, so they run to Lord Shiva to ask for help. He says, the damage done is really at a greater level, so we need to really clean up the whole mess. Sometimes when you look out for something, you don't take care of something for a long time. Let's say our own home, if things have been put across carelessly, they have fallen down and smell and filth and such. The only way is to clean up thoroughly, isn't it? Starts from scratch. So he recommends this procedure, and that is called the churning of the Milky Ocean or the cosmos, Samudra Manthan. That is the procedure suggested by Lord Vishnu. He doesn't simply suggest and let go of come on, I have given you the idea, go on, do it. No, he participates. As a leader, he participates in this. He decides to become the tortoise, where he is under the Milky Ocean, or way under the Milky Ocean. We'll try to put up a picture to help you understand the imagination of where things are. So he is the tortoise. On top of him is this Manthara mountain. So we need to churn. How do you churn? Have you seen a typical churning happening? There is a rope, there is a stick, and then somebody has to pull from left to right. That is a process of churning. So he has placed himself as the base, the tortoise, Vishnu. There is the mountain Manthara, and the rope is going to be this huge snake, Vasuki. Will be the rope. Means somebody has to pull in the left and somebody has to pull in the right. Who will do the job? Devas have to do the pulling. But only Devas will not work. The Asuras will also have to pull for the churning to happen. Which means the enemy parties have to get into an alliance to work together so that the whole cleaning job has to be done. They cannot, stop fighting over who did this, why did it happen, oh, it's because of you, that's why, and so on. That will not help. You need to work together, and they come together and come with a treaty. Okay, let's churn it out. And what we need, what is the goal? They need wealth. They lost wealth. They need wealth. Once we get it, we will divide it up. That is the strategy, and they go on. But stop. Vishnuji also informs that, remember, when you churn something, when you clean up, you never know what you get out of your own house sometimes, isn't it? So he said he just wants, there might be something bad also coming. Be ready to handle it, because I am underneath doing the job of, balancing while the churning is happening. So you guys will have to figure it out. So they think of, they don't take it seriously though, but then just as a backup, they keep Lord Shiva, who's sitting in Kailash calmly doing the Omkara. He is informed of all this, and he says, yeah, if there is issues, then I'll try to support you guys. Okay, cool. And then they go on churning. So the treaty is made, a temporary treaty is made between the Devas and Asuras, and they start churning. And from there comes not just one element, 14 elements. I'm going to list them out just here for you. So the first thing, I don't think it's in a proper order, but I will just, mention what all comes out. Yeah, there is Panchajanya, or the conch that comes out. The conch is something that you see Lord Vishnu is always holding in his hands, isn't it? Then the Kaustuba, the most beautiful jewel that is adorning Lord Vishnu, also comes out. Then of course Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of wealth, arrives. We are done with 3. What are the other numbers? Let's look at the other 11. Dhanvantri, god of medicine, comes out. We talked about medicine, Aushadhi, isn't it? Aushadhaya Namaha. Aushadhi is coming out. The god of medicine himself is coming out. Yeah. And then who else? What else is coming out? There is Sharang, the most powerful bow, coming out. There is also Varun, that is the goddess of water and wine, coming out. You need clean water because everything is dirty. That makes sense that clean water came out. Wine is also coming out. So remember, he pointed there might be something good or bad that is coming out. Be ready for it. Then there is a beautiful celestial beauty, Ramba, who comes out. The Mrigank, that is the moon, also is coming out. Parijatam, a divine tree with the most beautiful smelling, beautiful flowers, comes out. Kamadhenu, or Surabhi, the wish-fulfilling cow, comes out. Airavatar, the white elephant that Indra had, even that went, isn't it? When he got the curse, so that also came out. There is Uchchaishravas, the 7-headed divine horse, also came out. And then the 2 other things that came out that caused a lot of trouble. One was the Hālāhal poison, or Kālakootā poison. Enormous poison, unbearable poison comes out of this churning process. At the same time, there is also Amrit coming out after it. But let's see what these people do. When each and everything comes out, the people that are responsible for churning, who are they? Not people necessarily, they are the Devatas and Asuras. They are all distracted. Oh, that's coming out. Oh, this is coming out. I need that. I need a part of that. I need the best part of that. Oh, I need the beauty. I need to marry her. I need the wine. So the concentration is, going hither and thither. And when the worst of the worst happens, the Hālāhal, or the Kālakootā poison, comes out even before it coming out. The smell of it is so horrid that they are unable to bear even, that process. They stop churning. They run to the backup plan. Who is the backup plan? Lord Shiva, and say, we cannot manage this. That's really heavy. We are really worried. Nothing should happen to us. So we are not going to do anything. Stop process. Stop everything. We cannot handle this. We need your help. Lord Shiva enters. he looks at the poison. He takes out everything that is negative. Remember, he is the one that is bringing things that are completely negative to a closure, the cleaning up, closure. He takes out all the negativity, all that poison, Kālakootā poison, unbearable poison. Nobody is, all these powerful beings, so-called powerful beings, Lord Indra, all the Devatas, Asuras, they call themselves ultra powerful and so many things, but at this moment they are not ready to support this. There is only one entity that enters to clean up the mess, to take all the negativity, observe everything, and he drinks it calm and quiet. But wait, there is a danger. If he, the maintainer or the overall energetic form within us, Shiva, drinks the whole, and if it goes down his chest towards his heart, it will affect his wife Parvati. When it goes further down to his stomach, it will affect every single human element or living being within the earth or any other existing part of the cosmos. If it goes up his head, he himself could get dizzy, or even that will be worse for the Samudra Manthan, because nothing will happen. Everything will go into dissolve into a zero, Mahashunya. He has already taken it in his mouth. There is one point that happens at this moment. Parvati Devi, wife of Lord Shiva, enters here and holds his neck tight at that position itself, so that it's now in the throat region, Vishuddhi region of Lord Shiva, where she stops it from moving upwards or going towards his head or coming downwards to his heart or stomach. And that is the reason why his throat is more of a blue color represented. Whenever we see some scripture painting or definition, you see that he is called Neelakanta. Neela refers to the color blue, Kanta refers to the throat region, or neck precisely. So it's a blue neck that he ends up having because he takes all the negativity in. So that was the negative thing. Nobody was ready to take a part or asking for, I need half of this, 3/4 of this. Nobody wanted it. There was only one entity that helped, that was Lord Shiva. The 14th or the last one that came out was the Amrit, the nectar. Nectar is a powerful one, and this has the power of, this is coming from the Aushadhi, or it's a medicine that is helping you go through the samsara smoothly. Be the stronger element, live longer, unaffected by anything negative happening around you. Now everybody wants it. Nobody wanted a Kālakootā poison. Now everybody wants it. There is a fight that is going to start between, now the alliance is broken, the job is done, the churning process is done, Lakshmi Devi has come out, the wealth has come out, job done, I don't care. Now I need this part, that part, and so on. The fight starts. But at that time, Vishnu again, who's been underneath in the tortoise form, now the job is done. The next step is, he knows that the conflict is going to happen up there between the Devatas and Asuras. So he enters now in a different avatar. This avatar is called Mohini Avatar, the beautiful woman avatar that Vishnu takes, so that he can just pacify these, mesmerize and pacify these fighting, Devatas and Asuras, bring them down and kindly, handle things in an amicable way, saying, okay, I'll give you this part, but you need to be patient, quiet, wait for your turn, fall in a queue, fall in a line, and so on. And she does that. Who? Vishnu in the she form, Mohini form, does that. So that's exactly what happens when out of Samudra Manthan, all the lost wealth has come out. That's the end of the story, but there are so many key leadership learnings from this. What is that? Let's look at that. Connect the dots to today's scenario. The first thing, what really went wrong here? It was a gift coming from a sage, a simple garland. If Indra had taken it, a little more seriously, not insulted him, not letting the ego go up in the high, just taking the gift, the Samudra Manthan itself would not have happened. What is the learning here? Ego within leadership could land not just the leader, but the whole community into great trouble. Agreed? And does it happen even today? What Indra did? Does it happen even today? I don't want to mention names and get into political angles, but the recent developments that we are seeing in the global platform, the war or anything related to that, the kind of discussion happening between the leaders is an exact copy of what we just talked about. So, yeah, ego could land not just the leader, but the whole community in trouble. That is the learning from this section. The next thing, what happened? When the poison came out, the Hālāhal or the Kālakootā poison came out, what went wrong? Can we think of it as a simple process to handle an issue? Yeah. So somebody is having an issue and going and reporting to X, and X is saying this is the solution, but it has some risk, take care. Risk assessment. Do we call that in project management? Risk assessment. And that is also in a way talking about sustainability. Was there a proper risk assessment done? Did somebody ask Vishnu that, hey, stop, you're saying that we are going to churn and wealth will come out, but you're also mentioning there is some risk. What kind of risk? What level of risk? Will it stop the process itself? And if something really dangerous comes out, how do we dispose it off safely? What is missing here? Lack of sustainability thought process in this whole project plan. Agreed? And does it happen? Even today's context, there is an issue, there is a boiling point, and somebody wants to resolve the issue. We run towards it. We think of the now, but we don't think of what will happen 100 years from now or 1000 years from now. We don't care about it. What has it resulted in? Global warming, war, any crisis that you can take into example will fit into this bill perfectly, because everything every project comes with a positive aspect and negative aspect. We need to weigh, we need to do risk management. There was definitely a lack of risk management assessment and proper sustainability roadmap in this whole project of churning of milk ocean. Do you agree? The third point that we can think of is it's a nice positive aspect, isn't it? The strategic alliance. The Devas and Asuras, they never sit together, they never work together. But now at this point of emergency, they had to come together to do a job, which is good. Strategic alliances are good. Sometimes, if we cannot afford a war, we need to work together. We need to learn to work together. That is the reality that applies even for today, isn't it? The fourth point is the lack of focus. Oh my God, within the team. Did you notice? There was supposed to be, what was the goal? What was the ultimate purpose? What did you miss? You missed the wealth. You need the wealth back. Very simple. What was the process? Churning of the milk ocean. It should be as simple as that you focus on what's going to come out. That is the whole necessity. But there were a few other things coming out, and people started missing concentration, losing the focus, and wanting this and that. All these things, do we really need it now? What exactly is the point of the whole thing? The 14 elements were a distraction, isn't it? Out of the 14, what was the total aim? What was the purpose of this whole journey? Only one. The rest of the 13 what do you call it as? Distraction. We need to be able to differentiate between what is a distraction and what is your whole purpose. So milestone wins do happen. Each milestone in your project leads to some kind of a win. But versus that, you need to gauge your ultimate purpose and work towards the ultimate purpose, isn't it? That was the whole point of the alliance. And what is the point if we cannot, work towards that? The distraction, that was something that we could have fixed, isn't it? Then the fifth, I think this is the most important point, benefits of adaptability within leadership. Who was adaptable in this? The most of the elements here weren't totally adaptable, even totally understanding of the risk involved. Who adapted to the risk and handled the risk effectively? It was Shivaji. He eliminated the negativity by sacrificing. Yeah. Another leader, Vishnu, he converted himself into the woman by changing into this woman. He tactically avoided a impending war or a conflict, isn't it? So there is always a benefit that comes with adaptability within leadership. That is the learning that you get from this. In summary, ego within leadership not going to help. It will not just drown the king or the leader, it will drown the whole community. Sustainability really comes with a project plan that has, what should it have? A very clear risk assessment and risk handling procedures. Number 3, strategic alliance is good. It's very important even in cases where there is a war. You cannot, when you think of not having a war, then the solution is to come to a strategic alliance in some way or the other. But the fourth point is that focus. Lack of focus within the team or the core members of the team really affects the strategic alliance. The fifth and most important point is there is always additional benefits when the leadership is taking that important lead of being adaptable, leading by example to show how, demonstrate how adaptability really works. Shivji and Vishnuji. I hope you found this Samudra Manthan come leadership Gyan very useful. Please do share your thoughts on the same. Share your thoughts on leadership and how do you connect Sanatana Dharma with today's leadership and so on. Let's dig into this topic even more through your comments. With that, I will leave you to move on for the next session. Until such time, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated. Thank you. Bye-bye.